All right. Welcome to the AI for Contractors seminar. My name is Chuck Kyle, contractor my whole life. Been running a digital marketing company for the last 8 years. And for the last 2 to 3 years, I've been an AI early adopter. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because I feel like as of about 4 weeks ago, this whole AI thing is becoming applicable to everybody. Like if this is a tidal wave, we're just getting to the part where the tidal wave becomes surfable. And I'm surfing it, a few people I know are surfing it, but most people still have no idea that this is even a thing. And everybody's heard about ChatGPT. Some people have heard about Gemini. Some people have heard about Claude. But most people I know in my day-to-day life, they're not using these tools yet. And maybe some people, like the majority of people who are using them, like they're using them to draft some emails or find a recipe or something like super basic, something that you could have done 2 years ago. But they're not taking advantage of what you can do today. And I know from experience, just in the last few weeks, that the time is now for normal people to start adopting this technology and using it every day. For about 2 years, I've been telling everybody on my team at Adapt that you either learn how to use these tools or you're going to be replaced by them. And this was just the intuition I had from experimenting with this stuff back in 2023. But we are at that point now. And so this is going to be a topic that I talk about frequently, and it's something that I'm exploring every single day. And the cool thing is if you remember back to when the internet came out, like most people were sleeping on it. Like they had no idea, like what is this internet thing? This isn't gonna be anything. But a few people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, they saw the opportunity and they took advantage of it and they rode that wave, and now they're super uber billionaires racing to the moon and to Mars. And this AI thing it's just like the internet, except it's moving like 100 times faster than the internet did. Every single day, new tools are coming out, new techniques. And so right now, I think the best place to get started is just start using it. The technology is going to change. Today, I use Claude as my main AI. I used to use ChatGPT. I found Claude to be better, so now I use Claude every day, sometimes multiple instances at once. But in a month from now, if something better comes out, I'm going to use that. I don't care which AI model I use. What is important is that I'm learning how to use it and I'm staying on the frontier of what's possible today. So I'm just going to ramble on and talk about some of the things I'm doing. I'm going to throw out some guidance that I think will apply to everybody. And it's the same thing that I've been telling all my friends and my family and my colleagues. You know, everybody, they see something that I'm doing and they're like, oh my God, how do I do that? And here's lesson one. My answer is always ask Claude. So Claude is like ChatGPT. It's a chat interface. You can go to Google, type in Claude AI, and start using it right now for free. Though I do recommend buying the $20 a month version because you get access to a smarter AI. But you just go there and ask it like, hey, what can I do with this tool? And it will ask you some questions about you to figure out who you are and what you're doing. And then it will give you some use cases right off the bat. And, you know, you're on YouTube right now. You probably use YouTube all the time to learn how to do things, to research things. And you might even have watched tons of videos on my channel about contractor marketing, business, like looking for advice, some tips, some actionable things that you can do. We're hitting this switch. Like when it comes to AI, when it comes to using Claude, I'm telling you not to go to YouTube to look for tutorials. Go to Claude and ask it. Have a conversation with the AI tool itself on what you can do with it. When you try to do something and you run into an issue, you learn how to take a screenshot on your computer and feed it to Claude and ask it to advise you on what to do. And this loop can take you all over the place. This is what I've been doing since October of 2023, and it's what I do today. And I even use Claude to help me carry out tasks that I've done tons of times, because it's nice to have some feedback and just to work alongside an entity that is at your beck and call all the time. So I recommend using Claude. Claude has a thing built in called Claude Code. And Claude Code allows anybody and everybody to become a developer. By developer, I mean somebody who creates programs, creates applications. Everything you do on your phone is an application. Everything you do on your computer is an application. With Claude Code, anybody can start creating their own apps. Like this, let me tell you a quick story about when I first got started with all this stuff. So it was October of 2023, and I was in, I think, like Italy or something, and I decided I was going to try to use ChatGPT to create this app I'd always wanted. It was, I wanted to be able to track all my time and put it in a spreadsheet. And so the idea was I was going to make this app that connected to my Google Calendar, and every day it would move everything on my Google Calendar into a Google Sheet, a spreadsheet. Very simple app. Oh, Google thinks I'm talking to it. So back then, ChatGPT, I went to ChatGPT, said, hey, I want to do this. What are my options? It said, oh, you can use Google App Scripts. And I'm like, cool, I don't know what that is. Walk me through it. And I spent about 8 hours going back and forth with GPT, copy pasting things, running into issues, having things not work, and just looping through this pattern until eventually I got it working. And I was floored. I was like, holy cow, I've always wanted to be able to create my own applications, never been able to do it. I started learning code when I was younger, but it was taking too much time. But I was able to make this thing, and it worked. And I was able to use it and track all my time for a while and get the insights that came from doing that. And that was my first foray. That was when I first started thinking like, holy cow, this is super powerful. Eventually, this will start replacing things that people are doing, and this is probably a really good skill to have. Mid-2024, I tried it again. I made the same app, except this time it took me 30 minutes. I did it the same way I did before. I had some previous knowledge, so that sped things up a little bit, but the AI got so much smarter that I was able to replicate this app in 30 minutes that had taken me 8 hours. Now flash forward to late 2025, when after Claude Code had come out. I gave Claude Code one prompt, told it what I wanted. It created the code. I put the code into app scripts. It worked first time. So this time it took me 3 minutes. So I went from 8 hours to 30 minutes to 3 minutes. And that was late 2025. It's March 2026, and the models are multiple times smarter than they were then. So if you are getting into this stuff now, you are coming into it with like Einstein level AI. This stuff is so smart. It can take your idea and implement it correctly in one shot. And there's no way to explain this well enough that you will get it. You just have to go do it yourself. You have to go try it. Go to Google, type in Claude AI, download the thing, pay the $20, get Claude Code, and if you don't know what to make, ask it to ask you questions to help you figure out something to make, and just start doing something. On not just the coding front, Claude, I showed Claude to my friend TJ 6 weeks ago, and I texted him the other day. I said, hey, how's Claude life going? And he uses it all day, every day. He's using it to create his workouts, to create his nutrition plan, to explore business ideas, to help him with his job. He's using this for all sorts of things. And that's what happens. When you start experiencing how powerful these tools are, you start using them all the time. And it's that use that teaches you how they work and sparks other ideas on what you can do. And I'm a couple years into it, but But if I were getting into it today, I would get to where I am now in a few months rather than a few years, because the AI is so much more powerful now. It's so smart. It's kind of scary sometimes. The only thing that gives me hope that it's not going to replace everyone in the world is how slow people are adopting it. If you take 1,000 people off the street, there's probably one of them that is really actively using this right now. But in a couple years, it's going to be 50% of them. And if you're not one of those 50%, you're going to be probably standing in a food line trying to get food. Because what's happening, it's not that AI replaces everybody, it's that AI makes the people who use it so productive that they are able to do the job of 10, 20, 1,000 people. And so you want to be on that train. Here's an example of something that I've been building lately, because I said already, like, I feel a few weeks ago we just hit this point where the rubber's able to hit the road. And so I didn't know exactly, like, how do I get Claude involved in my business? How do I start applying this to the real world situations my business is in all the time? And so something I've picked up about this AI stuff is that it's all about data. And when I say the word data, a lot of people's eyes glaze over and they're like, oh God, data, like, this is outside of my realm. But just bear with me for a second, because all AI does, and all these applications and these computer programs you use, all they do is they take data, they move it around, they reshape it into other things, and that's really all these programs do. And data, when you use ChatGPT, you're giving it what's called a prompt. Like, you're giving it some kind of data, some kind of information, and then it takes that information and gives you an output. And so when it comes to like a real world business, part of the challenge is, how do I get it the right information about what's going on in order for it to do something helpful for me? Because if I have to sit here and spoon feed it every little piece of information it needs, it's probably not worth my time. I might as well just do it myself, right? So what I've done is, we have all these different apps at my company that we use. Like, we've got Gmail, we use Monday as our project management software. We use Go High Level as our CRM. What else do we use? We use Google Calendar. We use Slack. Slack is our team messaging software. That's what the team uses to communicate. We use Zoom. Zoom is what we use to do meetings, video meetings with people all over the place, our clients, our team, everything. And so what I did is I created what's called a database, which a database is like a giant spreadsheet where you can just put tons of data in. And I piped in the data from all these different places into one database. So everything that happens on a Zoom call, all the transcripts from all of our meetings go into the database. Everything that happens in Go High Level, all of our leads, all of our conversations with our leads, all of our notes about them, all of that goes into the database. Monday, that's where we manage all of our projects. There's like 90 different boards going on with our team in there, assigning tasks to each other, completing them, marking them complete, marking them blocked, putting in screenshots, all of that. All of that goes into our database now. All of our Gmails, all of our Google Calendar meetings, all of our Slack messages, everything that happens goes into this database. And then I'm able to use Claude and give it the ability to read what's in my database. And now all of a sudden, Claude is my Eye of Sauron. If you've ever watched Lord of the Rings, you know what Eye of Sauron is. It can see everything that's going on at the company. And so I can ask it, hey, Claude, what's going on today? And it will go look at the emails, it'll look at the activity in Monday, it'll look at the leads and the sales happening in Go High Level. And it will be able to see all of that in a few seconds and then give me an output that helps me see what I need to see. And this is something that almost every company can start doing now. And the first place you start is with the data. Like, you got to figure out where all the data at your company lives. If you're doing construction, a lot of the data is either non-existent in your noggin, but you got, like, the first step for you to do something like this is to figure out, like, how to start tracking everything that's going on. You have to put the activity into a format that AI can see. It's easy at a digital marketing company because we already do everything digitally. So the data was already there. All I had to do was plug it in. But for a construction company, like, how do you do project management now? Do you use a software? Do you use a notebook? You can pick up a software like Monday or Trello, or there's tons of different ones. But you can start tracking everything that happens. Like, you put the estimate in there, you put the invoices, you put the pictures of the project before, during, after. Like, that's a huge one. If you had, like, a comprehensive like timeline of photos of all of your the last 100 projects you've done, you could literally give Claude access to that, let it crawl those images, and it will now have a really solid understanding of what your process looks like and what it looks like when things are getting done to your standards. And it just help you, and what you do with that, the opportunities are endless. Like, right now, for me, yeah, I'm preparing to have it do things, but right now it's just assisting. Like, it does little things for me. It'll go through my Gmail every morning and it'll look through my messages, and based off of the rules I gave it, it'll clean my inbox. Every day it'll go through our Monday boards and point out the things to our project manager that got missed yesterday. These are the things that were due yesterday that didn't get done. So little things like that. One thing that I'm setting up right now is when a sales call occurs from Go High Level, it happens on a Zoom call. When that Zoom call is complete, the transcript goes into our database. Claude sees it, and Claude automatically puts the notes from that call into the note in Go High Level, and then it will turn around and draft the email to send that person. So it's taking little tiny bites out of the actions that all the humans are taking at my company. And what's slowly happening is it's enabling individuals to do 10 times more work than they were before. And so part of that means finding new work for other people to do, but part of that is also we're able to just do way more with less people. So whereas we would need to hire somebody in June, now we don't need to hire somebody in June. So where do you get started? Like, a big thing with data is you have to figure out, like, what data is okay to show Claude and what isn't. Because Claude is a cloud app. And you have to assume that anything that you put into Claude could potentially be seen or be exposed someday. So if you have, like, NDAs, if you have, like, HIPAA things, health related, if you have legal things that you can't share, you wouldn't want to share your bank account numbers. You wouldn't want to share stuff that you wouldn't post on Facebook. You know, you don't want to share certain things. And so if all of your okay to share and not okay to share stuff is meddled together, then you have to figure that out before you can start doing something like this. Like, if all of your emails, if half of your emails have confidential information, well, you can't give Claude access to your email. And so there's a lot of companies that are going to spend the next few years separating their data and figuring out, like, siloing what's okay to use or to put in the cloud and what's not okay. In a couple years, we'll be able to do something like Claude on our computer in our office or at our home, and that will make this a lot more simple. We won't have to worry so much about data getting exposed to the internet, to the world, because we'll be able to do it on our own computer. But it's not going to be like that for a few years. And if you wait a few years to get started on this stuff, you're going to be left behind. So to back it up, like, where do you get started on this stuff? You know, most people listening to this are probably, like, driving around in their truck between jobs or you know, setting tile, doing something while you listen to this. My recommendation is, like, go download Claude and just start using it today. You can use it to estimate. You can use it to help you with bookkeeping. I plugged Claude into our bookkeeping software. I gave it my bank transactions, and I gave it the transactions in the software, and it was able to go in and find some transactions that were missing, some duplicates. It was able to help me do what would have taken me 2 days. It was able to help me do in 30 minutes. So now I use it to help me categorize transactions. And a lot of people will get turned off because they go into it thinking that like, okay, I'm gonna go in and hand this off to AI 100% and it's just gonna do a perfect job, and then I won't have to do it anymore. And then they try it once, it doesn't work out like that, and they're like, AI doesn't work, screw this, not gonna do it. And so AI is not smart enough to hand everything off yet. It might be someday, and that's the point where I would be worried, because if AI is smart enough to hand stuff off 100%, then we are not necessary anymore in the labor force. But right now anyway, like AI can get you typically 80% of the way there. So you have an idea, you plug it into Claude Opus, which is the current best model, and it will get you 80% of what you want. But then you have to spend some time with AI getting the other 20%. And this is the part that most people aren't getting yet. They're like, they do something and they're like, oh, it's pretty good, but it's not perfect, so I'm just not gonna do this anymore. But we need a human for this. Like you can have Claude build you a website in 5 minutes, but the website's it's gonna be 80% good. It's not gonna, that last 20% will take you 5 hours, but that's really where the rubber meets the road. And this is what I've found I found this to be the case for most things. Super simple things, AI might be able to get you all the way there. But for bigger projects, for things that really matter, like if I was estimating a large remodel, I could use AI to help me get 80% of the way there, ask it, hey, what am I missing? What am I not thinking about? And it would be able to help guide me, but I would still need to rely on my own expertise to get it to the finish line. And this is the way that I see this stuff going, is people are figuring this stuff out so fast. In a matter of months, we're going to see massive changes happening. And what we're gonna have is we're gonna have like dashboards. You're gonna have like one screen on your computer that you've got a list of things the AI wants to do. And the human's just gonna go in and check them and approve them or deny them. And this is gonna be how, like, what the work of 100 people used to be, it's gonna be one person with a dashboard just looking through and quality controlling the AI. And over time, they'll have to do less and less quality control because the AI is just gonna be so dang good. So go download Claude, start messing with this stuff, use voice to text. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't wanna type all day. You use voice to text, it's got it built in. Lately, Claude's voice to text has been having a lot of errors. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to talk to it for 5 minutes and have this brilliant idea and explanation, and then you press OK, and then it says error, and you lost the whole thing. So I made a thing. You can go to tools.adaptdigitalsolutions.com. I'm not going to spell it right on here. And /speech to text. And that is a tool that I made. You can use it for free right now, but it's just a speech to text tool. You hit record, you talk, you press done, it will automatically copy what you said, and then it'll put it into, and then you just paste it into Claude or whatever AI you're using. This is what I use every day because that way I don't lose what I'm talking about. And for now it's free. If a bunch of you guys start using it, I'll probably have to charge like $5 a month or something for it. But for now it's free, so you can use that. ChatGPT has a phenomenal speech-to-text system. So you can sit there and talk to it for 10 minutes and give it all of that information, and it'll have a response for you, and just go start using it. Let me know in the comments after you try. Come back in a week and tell me how much this has changed your life. If If you have any questions you want to see me cover in the future, let me know and tell me. Some of you guys are going to be pretty advanced who see this. So just tell me what you're doing. Like, let's share the ideas. We are literally on the frontier of something new. Like, the stuff I'm doing is stuff that nobody's done before, or very few people are doing now, but you can't go on YouTube and find people doing real stuff. It's all just a bunch of hype, BS, or people you can't show everything you're doing online on YouTube because you're just welcoming people to come and try to hack you. So the best way to do this is just start doing it yourself. Mess around with it, experiment. Come back and let me know how it goes.